Look around you right here, right now. Every single person in this crowd has a dream, big or small. There's a vision you've been carrying inside your heart, maybe since childhood, maybe since last year, maybe since this morning. And I see it on your faces. I see that determination, and I see that flicker of doubt too. You're wondering if you have what it takes. You're wondering if you can push past all those obstacles, all the naysayers, and all the worries that come creeping in at night. Let me tell you something, that doubt is not your destiny. That doubt is just a test. The fact that you're here today tells me you're willing to fight for your dream. And you're ready to get serious. Because let's be honest, we're not here just to be inspired for a moment. We're here to change our lives in a real, tangible way. We're here to make the next 30 days count so profoundly that a month from now, you will look in the mirror and say, wow, I did it. I changed my path. I want you to imagine for a second the version of you who has already succeeded. Picture yourself standing on the other side of those 30 days. Stronger, clearer, more focused. Do you see it? Do you feel that surge of pride? That surge of excitement? That's where we're heading, and we're going to talk about 5 daily habits that can carry you across the finish line. But make no mistake, these aren't just neat little tips or quick fixes. These are powerful principles. These are habits that, if you weave them into the fabric of your routine, will rewrite the story you tell yourself every day. The story about who you are and what you can accomplish. Because that's what this is about. Changing the story that plays in your head, the one that's told you, maybe next time, or maybe that's too big. We're going to rewrite those words into something bold, something that shouts, why am I not now? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Denzel, I've tried daily habits before. I've made promises to myself. I kept them for a week, maybe 2, but then life happened and I fell back. I get it. Life is going to happen every single day. There will be bills to pay, relationships to nurture, stress at work. And that alarm clock will always seem too harsh in the morning. But that's exactly why these 5 habits matter. They are anchors. They will keep you grounded even when the waves get rough. They'll guide you when your energy runs low and your willpower starts to fade. The next 30 days can be a roller coaster, or they can be a launch pad. It's up to you. And these habits are the fuel. I'm asking you to open your mind, open your heart, and give yourself permission to believe that real change is possible. Not next year, not sometime later, but now, during the next 30 days. Because let me tell you something, the distance between where you stand today and the life you want to be living is often just a handful of consistent daily actions. Now, we're about to dive into the heart of these 5 habits, one by one. We're going to break them down. We're going to see how they relate to real life. We're going to learn why ignoring them can cost you more than you think. Most importantly, we're going to find out how you can implement them starting tomorrow morning. When you walk out of here, you'll have a road map. But that map is worthless if you don't decide right here and right now that you're going to follow it. So ask yourself, are you ready to break through? Are you ready to see what happens when you show up for yourself with discipline and drive. Are you ready to see how your world changes when you decide you're worth every bit of effort these habits require? Pause for a moment. Really let that question hang in the air. Are you ready? Because I'm ready to share with you what has guided me, shaped me, and helped me become the person I aspire to be every single day. I'm ready to see you shine, see you rise, and see you conquer those doubts that have been holding you back. This is our moment right now to commit to something extraordinary. Let's take that leap together. Let's step into a new realm of possibility, because in 30 days, you could be a completely different person, more alive, more confident, more certain of your worth. That transformation starts with one simple decision: to embrace these 5 habits wholeheartedly daily, without apology. That's your mission. That's your call. Let's begin. First habit, you have to develop a laser-focused morning routine. Too many of us roll out of bed in a cloud of confusion, already 5 minutes late, scrolling through social media before our eyes are even fully open. Let me tell you what happens when you start your day in chaos. You set the tone for everything that follows. It's like stepping into a raging current without a paddle. You get tossed around by every distraction, every unexpected event, every minor inconvenience. And by the time you look up, half the day is gone, and you haven't done a single thing that matters to you. That's a tragedy, because you know what's possible if you reclaim your mornings. Everything changes. Morning is your prime real estate. It's your blank canvas. It's the moment when your brain is most fresh, your spirit is most receptive, and your environment is somewhat under your control. If you don't seize that window of opportunity, life will rush in with 1,000 demands, and you'll find yourself playing defense for the rest of the day. Picture this. You wake up 30 minutes earlier on purpose. No snooze button. You sit in silence for a moment. Maybe you meditate, maybe you pray, maybe you just breathe. Let your mind settle. Then you pick up a journal or a piece of paper and you write down 3 intentions for the day. 3 things that, if accomplished, will push you closer to your goals. It might be finishing that proposal, making that important phone call, or even just drinking enough water. Whatever it is, you set it on paper. That action alone sends a message to your mind. We're in control, and this is where we're heading. Next, you feed your mind. You read something uplifting or listen to a motivational audio. It might be 5 minutes, but it plants a seed of positivity. You're telling yourself, I'm going to dictate how my day starts, not let random thoughts or negativity decide for me. Then you move. That can be a quick stretch, a short walk, a full workout. Whatever suits your current level. The key is to prime your body. Get your blood flowing. Remind yourself that you're alive, that this body is here to serve you, and you're here to take care of it. This is your fortress. You keep it strong. When you don't have a morning routine, you drift. Days blur into weeks, weeks blur into months, and suddenly you're looking at your life and wondering why you feel so off track. The reason is that you never set the track in the first place. How can you find direction when you never established any sense of starting point or destination each day? The tragedy is that we end up living someone else's agenda. work emails, social media notifications, errands that pop up before we ever get in touch with our own. And the result is dissatisfaction, stress, and a creeping sense that life is passing us by. But when you claim your morning, you claim your life. You start each day with an action plan, and you move with intention. People who do this, people who guard their mornings as sacred, experience a shift in focus, in productivity, and in happiness, because they're not just reacting, they're creating. I know some of you are thinking, I'm not a morning person. Believe me, I've heard that many times. But let me gently challenge you on that. Often, the label, not a morning person, is just an excuse we've used to justify lazy habits at dawn. If you want to change, you have to break those narratives. You can teach your mind and body to cherish the early hours. Start gradually. Wake up 15 minutes earlier than usual. Do something meaningful with that time. Once you taste the clarity and calm that a structured morning provides, you'll want more. Sure, it might be uncomfortable at first, but remember, growth and comfort rarely coexist. If you want to become that new person in 30 days, you have to do new things now. The best part is that your morning routine doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. Find what nourishes your mind, fuels your body, and aligns with your goals. Then commit to it. Do it consistently. The difference you'll feel even after 1 week will shock you. You'll notice you're calmer under pressure, more decisive, and somehow you just get more done. Opportunities that used to pass you by will start to reveal themselves because you're stepping into each day awake, alert, and prepared. That's how you build momentum. And it's that momentum that will carry you to the next habit. So let's see. Are you ready for the second one? Second habit, deliberate practice of gratitude. Listen to me closely. Gratitude is more than a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's a lens that changes how you see your entire life. Think about it. If you walk around constantly noticing what's missing, what's lacking, what's broken, then you carry that sense of deficit in everything you do. It weighs you down. It colors your conversations. It even affects the way people see you and respond to you. But when you actively look for what's good, what's working, what's beautiful in your world, even if it's just something as simple as a good cup of coffee in the morning, your entire emotional state shifts. Doors open in your mind. New ideas flow. You become receptive to blessings that you previously overlooked. You might say, I don't have time to do all this gratitude stuff. And I would say, you don't have time not to. Because let me tell you, a heart filled with gratitude is unstoppable. It's not about ignoring life challenges or sugarcoating reality. It's about training your perception to find the silver lining, the lesson, the small win in every situation. You wake up and your car battery is dead. Okay, that's frustrating. But if you have a habit of gratitude, you say, well, at least I discovered it before I drove off. I have a phone to call for help. I have resources I can use. That shift in attitude will keep you from spiraling into anger or victimhood. And that shift in attitude changes your decisions, your relationships, your entire day. In practical terms, how do you develop this? Start by writing down 3 things you're grateful for every single day. Do it in the morning or before you go to sleep. Doesn't matter. As long as you do it, make it specific. I'm grateful for the time my colleagues spent helping me with a project. Or, I'm grateful for the warm meal I had with my family tonight. Feel it in your heart. Let that appreciation sink in. Over time, you'll notice that you begin to see more and more positives around you because you've trained your brain to look for them. It's like turning on a switch in a dark room. Suddenly, you realize how much light was actually there, just waiting for you to notice. Now, what happens when you skip gratitude? You become blind to blessings. Your life may be full of wonderful things: health, loved ones, opportunities, but you won't see them. And if you don't see them, you can't build upon them. You're left feeling empty, jealous of others, or perpetually unsatisfied. That can lead you down a path of resentment and bitterness. Your conversations become complaint sessions. Your relationships suffer. The workplace becomes a battlefield. You start believing the whole world is out to get you. But guess what? The world isn't out to get you. You're out to get yourself by refusing to see what's already working in your favor. Now, let me tell you a story. I had a friend who was hitting rock bottom financially, emotionally. Everything was going wrong. He came to me desperate for a solution. We talked about many things, but I said, listen, man, start with gratitude. Write down 5 things every night. He looked at me like I was speaking another language. He wanted something more dramatic, something big. But guess what happened? After a week of begrudgingly following this simple advice, he started noticing how his perspective shifted. He found reasons to hope. He made better choices. He reached out for help more confidently. Within a month, he'd landed a better job and reconciled with an old friend. Am I saying that gratitude alone fixed his entire life? No. But it laid the emotional foundation that allowed him to take the steps he needed to climb out of that hole. You see, gratitude puts your mind in the right frame to grow, to learn, and to conquer. If you want to change your life in 30 days, build that gratitude muscle. Do it every day, just like you would do push-ups for your physical body. Your emotional and spiritual core will strengthen. You'll start attracting different experiences. You'll cultivate resilience, because no matter what life throws at you, you'll be anchored in the good that still remains. And trust me, there is always something good. That's the hope we need. That's the light we hold on to. So as you move forward, keep that second habit alive. Put on those gratitude glasses and watch how your world transforms. Now, let's build on that as we move to the third habit. Third habit, consistent learning and skill development. It's simple. If you're not growing, you're stagnating. If you're not getting better, you're sliding backward. There's no neutral ground in life. Now, I'm not talking about going back to college or chasing a fancy degree, unless that's your calling. I'm talking about the commitment to learn something every single day. It could be reading 10 pages of a good book, listening to an educational podcast, taking an online course, practicing a new language, or even refining a skill you already have. The point is that you do it deliberately, with intent, and consistently. Imagine you're a musician. If you don't practice, your skills rust. If you do practice, your skills improve, your confidence grows, and opportunities start knocking. The same applies to everything in life: communication, leadership, cooking, networking, or technology. We live in a world where information is abundant. Right now, you can pull out your phone and learn about any topic under the sun. But so few people take advantage of this incredible gift. They get stuck in a cycle of entertainment, scrolling, passing time. They look back and wonder, how come I'm not where I want to be? It's because they haven't invested in themselves. They haven't fed their minds with the knowledge or training needed to elevate. Let me make this even clearer with an example. There was a young actor who once asked me for advice. He said, "Denzel, how do I make it in this industry?" I told him, train every day. Don't wait for auditions to learn your craft. Read plays, study scripts, practice accents, watch the greats, and learn from them. Prepare yourself so thoroughly that when the opportunity arises, you don't just show up. You explode onto that stage or set with everything you've got. That's the key. You don't wait to get picked. You prepare yourself so well that the world can't ignore you. That's the power of skill development. If you neglect this habit, you become complacent, and complacency is the silent killer of dreams. You might think you're staying the same, but in a fast-paced world, staying the same is actually falling behind. Opportunities will pass you by because someone else took the time to sharpen their edge. Someone else read the books, did the research, practiced the moves. And suddenly you realize you're stuck in place while the world moves on. It's a harsh reality, but it's also a powerful motivator. Because once you realize that daily learning is non-negotiable, you can make it fun, exciting, and deeply rewarding. So how do you incorporate this into your life? Start with 15 minutes a day. That's it. Maybe right after breakfast or right before bed. Pick a topic that aligns with your goals. If you want to start a business, study marketing or entrepreneurship. If you want to get healthy, read about nutrition or watch fitness tutorials. If you want to level up your communication skills, listen to podcasts by great speakers. The point is to fill your mind with things that challenge you, stretch you, and ultimately transform you. Be intentional. Write down what you learn. Try to apply it the very next day. That's how new knowledge turns into real usable power. Over time, this daily habit of learning adds up. In 30 days, you'll look back and realize you've acquired new abilities, new insights, and new ways of thinking that were foreign to you a month ago. And that's a boost to your self-esteem. Suddenly, you trust yourself more. You realize that, yes, you can grow. Yes, you are capable of moving closer to those big dreams. And guess what? That's going to make you hungry for more. Learning is addictive because progress feels good. It reminds us of the vast potential we hold inside, just waiting to be unlocked. So, keep that learning flame lit. Let it guide you, push you, and provoke you to reach higher. Because the moment you stop learning, you stop living fully. And I know you want to live fully. I can see it in your eyes. Now let's move to the fourth habit. Fourth habit, mindful self-reflection. This is where you take the time every single day to pause and look inward. Think of it as a mirror for your soul, your thoughts, your actions. Because it's all too easy to get caught in the hustle, in the to-do lists, in the external pressure, and forget to ask the critical question, how am I really doing? This is not about navel-gazing or self-criticism. It's about checking your trajectory. Are you living in alignment with your values, your goals, your deepest desires? Or are you drifting off course because you're too busy to notice? When you ignore self-reflection, you risk waking up one day to find yourself way off track, feeling lost, unfulfilled, and not even sure how you got there. That's a scary place to be. But if you do just 5 or 10 minutes of reflection each day, maybe at night, before you turn off the lights, you create a space to process what happened, what you learned, and what you want to adjust moving forward. You get to ask yourself questions like, did I spend my time the way I intended? Did I treat people the way I believe in treating them? What am I proud of today? What can I improve tomorrow? These questions might sound simple, but they carry a lot of weight. Let me share a story. A friend of mine was juggling multiple responsibilities, family, work, personal projects. She always felt overwhelmed, racing from one thing to the next. I suggested she journal for 5 minutes each evening. At first, she scoffed. I don't have time for that, she said. But she tried it. She wrote down her biggest challenge of the day and how she felt about it. Then she wrote a small win or something she was grateful for. Within 2 weeks, she told me she felt more at peace. Because for the first time, she wasn't just living on autopilot. She was observing her life, learning from each day, and making small, meaningful changes. That's the power of reflection. You might think reflection is easy to skip. After all, it doesn't produce an immediate, tangible result. It's not like you do 10 push-ups and feel your arms burning. But I promise you, the long-term effect is monumental. Because reflection is how you catch yourself before bad habits take root. How you celebrate your small victories so you stay motivated, and how you cultivate self-awareness, the cornerstone of personal growth. Without self-awareness, you can't correct your course. You can't manage your emotions effectively. You end up blaming circumstances or other people for issues that might actually be within your control. So how do you practice mindful reflection? You can do it through journaling, meditation, quiet walks, or even talking to a trusted friend who helps you see yourself more clearly. The key is consistency and honesty. You have to be real with yourself. If you made a mistake, own it. If you achieve something, celebrate it. If something feels off, investigate it. The goal isn't to judge or shame yourself. It's to understand yourself better so you can grow more effectively. Because only when you know where you stand can you figure out how to get to where you want to go. At the end of each day, give yourself the gift of introspection. You'll find that life slows down just enough for you to catch the lessons it's offering. You'll make adjustments faster. You'll approach challenges with more clarity. And you'll discover a deeper sense of purpose in everything you do, because you're no longer just reacting to life. You're engaging with it consciously. That's the real deal. Now, let's head to the 5th and final habit, the one that ties everything together. 5th habit: focus goal setting with regular review. This is how you turn wishes into realities. We all have dreams. We all have aspirations, but without concrete goals, those dreams remain fuzzy ideas that might happen someday. And someday is not a real day of the week, my friends. If you want to see true transformation in 30 days, you need to set clear, measurable goals and then review them constantly. This is where the rubber meets the road. Because if you're not specific about what you want and you don't revisit that vision daily or weekly, life will drown out your ambitions in a flood of tasks and distractions. Think about your biggest desire right now. Is it to improve your finances, strengthen your body, launch a new project, maybe mend a broken relationship? Whatever it is, turn that desire into a goal that is measurable and time-bound. I want to save X amount of money by this date. I want to complete the first draft of my book in 4 weeks. I want to lose X pounds by the end of the month. That's clarity that gives you a target to aim for. Once you have that target, break it down into smaller steps. Weekly targets, daily tasks, micro actions that add up. This habit pairs perfectly with your morning routine and your self-reflection. In the morning, you identify your top 3 tasks that align with your big goal. In the evening, you reflect on how well you did. That cycle of intention and review is a powerhouse. What if you skip this habit? You might stay busy, you might even work hard, but it'll feel like spinning in circles because you have no destination in mind. You wonder why you're exhausted and unfulfilled. It's because you're working without direction. That's a recipe for frustration and eventually burnout. People who succeed know exactly where they're headed. They might adjust their course along the way, but they never lose sight of the end game. They keep that vision in front of them. They talk about it, write about it, dream about it. And that constant connection to the goal fuels their motivation, creativity, and resilience. Let me give you a personal example. When I first started out in my career, I wrote down a list of roles I wanted to play, the type of stories I wanted to be part of, and the impact I wanted to have. I didn't just tuck that list away in a drawer. I reviewed it regularly. I visualized it. And sure enough, opportunities that aligned with that vision started to appear. Some people call it the law of attraction. I call it the power of focus. Because when your mind is set on a goal, you subconsciously start to notice opportunities, ideas, and connections that relate to that goal. That's how you move from daydreaming to actualizing. But remember, you have to check in. At least once a week, look at your goals. Ask, where am I now? What's working? What's not? Then make adjustments. Life is dynamic, so your plans should be too. Maybe you realize you need more time, more resources, or a different approach. That's fine. The key is you're staying engaged with your goal, not letting it slip into the background. Over 30 days, you'll find that your consistency builds momentum. And once momentum is on your side, you become a force to be reckoned with. So there you have it, a morning routine that sets the tone, gratitude that keeps your heart open, continuous learning that expands your capacity, reflection that sharpens your awareness, and goal setting that focuses your energy. These 5 habits are transformative on their own, but together they form a powerful system. Each habit complements the others, creating a synergistic effect that can propel you forward faster than you ever imagined. Now, let's bring this all together in a way that lights a fire under you and keeps it burning long after these words fade. I want you to think back on everything we've covered. 5 daily habits, the structure of your mornings, the lens of gratitude, the pursuit of continuous learning, the practice of mindful reflection, and the drive of focused goal setting. These are not complicated. They're not impossible to incorporate, but they require discipline, they require intention, and they require belief that you are worth the effort, because you are. You have a gift to bring to the world, a story to tell, a difference to make, and these habits are tools that will help you access your full potential. Now, let's recap them clearly. First, guard your morning. Take ownership of the first hour of your day so you start with clarity, purpose, and momentum. Second, cultivate gratitude as a daily ritual. Recognize the good that already exists so you build from a place of abundance rather than lack. Third, commit to learning every day. Keep your skills sharp, your mind active, and your spirit hungry for growth. Fourth, set aside time to reflect. Listen to your inner voice, track your progress, and recalibrate as necessary. Finally, define your goals and review them regularly. Now where you're going, why you're going there, and how you plan to get there. Let me break it down on a deeper level so you truly grasp why these habits matter. When you take control of your morning, you signal to yourself and to the world that you're intentional about your life. This has a psychological ripple effect, boosting your confidence and your sense of autonomy. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from problems to possibilities. This rewires your brain to notice opportunities and solutions, reducing stress and increasing your emotional resilience. When you learn something new every day, you keep your curiosity alive. You prevent stagnation. You expand your horizons and attract better prospects. When you reflect, you gain self-awareness, which is crucial for breaking negative cycles and building positive ones. And when you set focused goals and review them often, you give your life direction, clarity, and measurable progress. Each habit uplifts you, but when you combine them, the effect multiplies. You might be wondering, but what if I fail? What if I can't keep it up every day? Let me ask you this. Is your vision of the future worth a little discomfort? Are you willing to stumble, maybe fall a few times, in order to finally break through and see yourself shining in a way you never have before? Because failure is just a stepping stone. It's an indicator that you're trying, that you're out there on the front lines of your own life, making moves. Besides, these habits aren't about perfection. They're about consistency. Even if you miss a day here or there, as long as you get back on track, you're still moving forward. Now, let's talk about the next 30 days. I want you to picture yourself integrating these habits one by one, day after day. There will be moments of triumph, moments of doubt, and everything in between. But through it all, you'll be evolving. You'll be noticing that your mornings feel more peaceful, your mindset more optimistic, your mind sharper, your heart more in tune with yourself, and your goals more tangible. Each day becomes a building block. And after 30 days, Those blocks stack up to form a new foundation for who you are becoming. It's a foundation built on discipline, insight, gratitude, and vision. That's powerful stuff, folks. That's life altering. Let's be honest, nobody can do this for you. Your friends can't do it. Your boss can't do it. Your family can't do it. This is you deciding that you matter enough to invest in. You matter enough to wake up earlier, to write in a gratitude journal, to pick up a book or a class, to look inside and ask the hard questions, and to set goals that challenge and excite you. This is you stepping into your purpose. And that's the difference between just existing and truly living. Of course, challenges will arise. You might sleep through your alarm. You might forget to write down what you're grateful for. You might feel bored with learning or find reflection uncomfortable. And you might think, what's the point? Let me just go back to how I was before. Don't settle for the old you when the new you is waiting just around the corner of perseverance. Remember your why. Why did you come here today? Why are you listening to this? Why do you want more out of life? Hold on to that why, because it's your fuel when the road gets tough. Take a moment now to commit to yourself, not to me, not to anyone else. Say it in your mind. I will do this. I will try these habits for 30 days. I will see what happens. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. If you give it your all, in 30 days you'll have a story to tell, a story of transformation, growth, and renewed purpose. If you choose not to, you'll keep your old story with its old limitations. That's a choice only you can make. Now, here's my call to action. Don't just walk away from this speech feeling inspired. That's not enough. Take real steps. Tonight, set your alarm a little earlier for tomorrow. Prepare a piece of paper or a journal to write 3 things you're grateful for. Find a short article or video about a skill you want to learn. Devote 5 minutes before bed to reflect on how you spent your day. And write down one goal you want to achieve by this time next month. That's it. 5 small actions. If you do them, you'll have taken the first steps toward a new reality. Momentum will be on your side. And trust me, once you feel that first spark of progress, you'll want more. You'll keep going. Let me close with a vision for you. Imagine walking into a room of people you haven't seen in a month. They notice something different about you. A certain glow, a sharper presence, a new spark in your eyes. They might ask, what changed? And you'll smile because you know what changed. You did. You decided. You acted. You followed through. And now the results speak for themselves. You're more confident. You handle challenges with grace. You speak with us. You radiate gratitude. You're learning, growing, and setting goals like never before. That's not a fantasy. It's a very real possibility, and it's only 30 days away. That's the power of these 5 habits practiced with commitment. So I leave you with this final thought. Life will throw you curveballs, but these habits will be your steady ground. Life will test you, but these habits will be your resilience. Life will tempt you to revert to old patterns, but these habits will remind you of the future you're creating. One day at a time, one choice at a time, one habit at a time. Are you ready to make the shift? Are you ready to live the life you've envisioned instead of just dreaming about it? Then let's do it. Let's stand up. Let's rise up. And let's show the world and ourselves what's possible when we commit to consistent, purposeful action. Because you and I both know that within you lies the capacity for greatness. Within you lies the power to transform not just your own life, but to inspire those around you. Don't keep that power locked inside. Unleash it. Live it. And watch how everything changes starting now, starting today for the next 30 days and beyond.